Hey YouTubers, so going to go over my personal picks for 4K Blu Ray players. Now, these are what are currently available, and I'm going to use Amazon. Love the Amazon. Not say that Amazon always gives you the best price. You should always shop around because there are times that Best Buy is cheaper, or Walmart. Walmart's cheaper a lot of times. Or even the eBay. If you've watched my videos, you know that I love shopping at all these different places. Even though I had a falling out with eBay, I have recently been reconnected with those guys. So things are going good there for sales. But that's not what this is about. This video is about current 4K Blu Ray players that are out there. I own 4 of them currently. Reviewed quite a few others on some of my other channels. And what we're going to talk about first is the most affordable ones that are out there. So if we're talking 2018 models, this is your probably best quality low-end model. We've got different prices here. This one, you know, when you're in Amazon, you see this more buying choices, you know it's going to lead you to other links. So who knows if that's an accurate price. But let's say 125 appears to be the cheapest price for that. And I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Now, not a whole lot of difference between the 2017 model, which was the UP870. We'll pull that up in a second and see if they're still available. This one, by the holidays, is bound to be under $100. So you can count on that. All right, so they dropped this in right now, 125. It's going to be down in the 100 range. If you are familiar with the UP870 and this one, you know that they are basically the same players. They really did not do a whole lot of different things to it. They moved this logo. Sometimes there's a sticker on these that's in a different spot. The front is pretty much the same. It doesn't have anything exciting about it, but it is well built. From the outside, they're slightly noisy, which is a negative, both loading the tray and loading the disc. So if you don't have your surround sound up somewhat, you may go, wow, that's kind of a noisy 4K Blu-ray player. On the back of these, not a lot of features. If I can find a friggin' picture, there we go. And you see there's one HDMI, which kind of sucks. The Ethernet there is used to update the device. This is not a smart 4K Blu-ray player. And there's an optical out, which is good for soundbar. So you can run one aspect to the TV and one to a soundbar if you don't have a 4K pass-through type soundbar, or you don't always want to have your soundbar on. There's all kinds of different reasons for those. All right, so let's go look at what might be a better deal for you. Honestly, if you're shopping right now, low end, a lot of times these are under $100 if you can get them still. I personally got one for $90 a few months ago. So $115.99. Surprisingly, not any cheaper. If you were to go over to eBay, though, you will probably see some brand new for $70 or $80. So we're checking out. And just so you can see the front face, since we just talked about it. God, the resolution's horrible on this. All right, there is the USB on that side, same controls, and the player. And you see the logo is on the left side versus the right side. So not a whole lot different. Now, the next level up gets a little more exciting. And if you need Dolby Vision and you don't have a smart TV, these are the players you need to be looking at. And then some of the ones we're going to look at don't have Dolby Vision, but they're all around the same price point. So let's stick with the LG. Let's go LG UBK90. I didn't say P. Sorry about that. All right, so 196. This one, these were over 200, so they're starting to slowly come down in price. You see, originally 299. I have demoed one of these, and I own the LG UP970, which I do have a review out there for that one. So, main differences between those. This one has Dolby Vision. I believe in the UP970 they talked about a firmware upgrade and never did it. But this one actually has the Dolby Vision in it, which is pretty awesome if you've got a TV that supports Dolby Vision. So if you bought a TV 2018 and it was probably anywhere from $600 and up by LG or Vizio, good chance that it supports Dolby Vision, and you'll want to spend the extra money to get this player. You know, not a lot of talk about from the outside. The front looks just like the UBK80. Now where you're getting the differences is the back. This is what some people will really care about. We've got Ethernet. We've got 2 HDMI outs. One's audio only. One is going to go to your TV. And then the second thing there, or the other thing there, is the optical out. So once again, could work out good for your sound bar, or if you happen to have a later stereo that doesn't have HDMI, or like a lot of cases, these awesome stereos, the HDMI ins and outs just die all of a sudden. That happens a lot. I've got a stockpile of receivers that have shit out on me. So main things that are better about this than the previous models we talked about would definitely be that Dolby Vision. This has Wi-Fi capability, and it's a smart player. Not a lot of apps on here. You should expect only YouTube and Netflix, I believe, are the only apps you will see on this. I don't think that there are any other ones. No Vudu, which kind of sucks. So if you really want a smart TV from that aspect, hang on when we get to the Samsungs, or you want a real smart player. The Samsungs have a lot more to offer. All right, so that's about all I want to talk about on this. Not a whole lot of additional features over the UP970, except for, like I said, it does have the Dolby Vision. This is going to be a slightly better deal to get one of these if you can find one. And looks like it's a little difficult to do. Only 8 left. Does not actually show you the price for a brand new one. Check eBay though. You could probably find it for right over $100 new. You may even find one that is slightly used that is less than $100, and you will be probably pretty happy with that purchase. All right, so we've talked about the 90, the 970, the 80, the 870. Now, if you're a Sony fan, this one also has Dolby Vision. Surprisingly, though, there's TVs that do not support it from what I've seen. Here we go. So this price puts it actually is a better deal than the UBK90. And, you know, Sony's nothing super spectacular from the outside. Not a lot of buttons. Kind of annoying. I like the fact that there's no cover over the USB, and these, all play pretty much the same file types. Here we go. So Sony does have a little bit different to offer in the back. You have the HDMI's. One does video and audio, the other just does audio. And then there's a coaxial on this one. So no optical, which can be a deal killer for some people. Does have the Dolby Vision. And, I'm not sure whether this one's Wi-Fi. I'm not as familiar with this one because I haven't actually reviewed this guy. So let's just go over this real quick. There's the Dolby Vision we talked about that you definitely want if you've got a newer TV. Okay, here you go. So it does support the HDR, which is pretty much standard. Stream movies in 4K and TV in 4K. Wow. So here's something to consider over the UP970. This actually has built-in 4K streaming from what this is saying. Now, I'm not that familiar with all the apps that this can offer, but at least Netflix-wise, you can do your 4K on there, which makes me think that I may need to drop one of my current players and get this. This shows the other players, and it is surprisingly, some of these other ones I believe are more expensive. At least this model should be. It's the only one that they offer that has a Dolby Vision. And it does have the Wi-Fi, so pretty good. At least I think it does. Let me make sure. I hate to tell people stuff and they come back and they leave comments. Yeah, this one is Wi-Fi. So, and it's probably in the title right up here. No. All right, so moving on. Now, another model that I have and I have done reviews on is the K85C, which is the same thing as the K8500. Still trying to find out about new models offered by Samsung. Looks like a lot of 2017 stuff, a lot of the same things that have been out. And trying to find one that's new is another story. All right, so I put that in there. These are all refurbed. So I would have recommended that model over these other ones, but let's look at the M9500. Now this guy has a decent amount of apps on it that you can show. I know YouTube, Vudu, and it also has Netflix. So, for basic smarts, it's not too bad. There's nothing that's going to compete with Roku, though, or maybe even Chromecast, but Roku is, to me, the tops. So, what does this one have on the back? Let's go ahead and look at it. Optical, Ethernet, and the two HDMIs. And basically one's audio and video. These are, a little bit different design. They didn't want to be like everybody else, but to be honest with you, they seem kind of cheap from the outside. Not very impressed with the design itself, but it does seem to be quieter than the LG, and that may be what is more important to you folks out there. All right, so there's that. So in summary, Wi-Fi, it is smart and great picture. All these, will give you a great picture. This does not have Dolby Vision. So that is one negative against it. Now, let's look at what is probably the best of them all. And if not, I missed a model somewhere, but I'm pretty sure this is the best one. Not the 203, but the 205. I got links. I'm going to have links down below for these, but this is the one you want to buy if you've got a shit ton of money to just throw around. This will freaking impress people. And if they have no idea who this brand is, then they will leave your house looking it up, because not only does this look way more impressive from the front, it is way more impressive. Not only on the inside, the menus, the back. I got a chance to demo one of these. I wish I had some freaking video of it. Incredibly awesome. Quieter than the other players for the most part. And let's look at the back. So, whoops, that's the innards. Now, there's a lot of shit on here that you don't need, but the fact that they put all this crap on here, that's interesting. XLR balanced stereo output. I don't know if that's so you can do freaking karaoke with this bad boy or connect something else, but the things we really care about: Ethernet, HDMI out. So same deal. There's only one of those, but this has HDMI in, which is really amazing. USBs, 2 of those, so you could have multiple hard drives hooked up to it. Looks like every freaking connection that you could want in the back, really, optical and coaxial. And then for whatever reason, all this other shit on there. Now let's get to it. This is your, for your real audiophiles that have tons of equipment. Maybe you want to send this to multiple sources. This is the one that if I had the money to waste, I would probably get it. It's going to be heavier than the other ones. I mean, way heavier. The remote control, they don't show the remote in here. The remote for this thing's way nicer than any of the other ones. But check out some of the people that actually have money that can do reviews on high-end stuff. I'm kind of surprised everybody doesn't give this a 5.0. But yeah, check this one out. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. Please like, please subscribe.